Hey guys, welcome to ANX Gamecast, level 116. I'm unbiased Ann, and I'm here with Genesis and Terrence. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? People you're not the only one. Last person sat in that seat started talking right before we was about to record.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know what's happening with that seat, but anyway. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Terrence, you good?
I'm good. I'm great.
What are y'all excited to talk about today?
Terrence?
I'm ready to talk about my Date a Girl movie.
I'm ready to talk about my anime also, Neon Genesis. Huh.
I'm ready to talk about some Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, the first one?
Yes. No.
Oh.
Remake. I don't know anything about the first one.
On Game Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and do the social media thing real quick. Follow us on all social media outlets at ANX Gamecast and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. ANX Gamecast. I was thinking about switching it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna just say the same thing. Speaking of your favorite podcast, we're on AVersion TV on YouTube, so check us out. So I think we saw a couple of people that made the migration over. So
yeah.
shout out to you. That's what we haven't done in a long time. Shout out to everybody still listening to audio only. Shout out.
I know, it's weird. Like, I don't even think about it anymore.
Hey, we don't even think about y'all no more. You heard her?
No, but it's like I see the videos now all the time.
Yeah.
So
and shout out to everybody that has subscribed to our YouTube channel. Again, it is AVersion TV. It is the one that is not in Spanish. Y'all ready for round one?
yes.
Let's see.
Round one.
Let's talk about the anime that we're currently watching.
Terrence.
What you got?
Well, it's we'll say Date a Girl movie, but it's that's the kind of jokey side about it is why not to date a girl in the dungeon, which I butcher it up every time.
Yeah.
But this was a movie. This is Arrow of Orion, and it was on a different platform this time around.
Because you just disowned Crunchyroll, right?
Well, no, Crunchyroll's having some things because it's Japanese based, and they're not.
You disowned them.
They're not moving as fast.
You were like,
anymore.
no, I ain't having this no more.
if you check it, it always says it was given a disclaimer. We will not at this time due to COVID.
Yeah.
We don't know when we'll be back up, basically. And so
you moved on.
I moved on. It's called High Dive. And they do the series too, but I don't know how many new ones there are. There's one that I still
But they new to you, so
yeah.
They might have some different shows. They new to you.
I still watch Crunchyroll. I have one show I watch, but it just ended. The season just ended. But all of the characters in Why Not to Date a Girl in a Dungeon are the same.
That's not what it's called.
Right.
If you go Google that, or if you go search on High Dive or Crunchyroll, it will be zero results.
Why not to date a girl in a dungeon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, it's been a good series. But the movie has actually been really, really good. It's a little bit more darker.
Darker than the show?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it starts off with Familia, one of the familiars of one of the gods being basically decimated. And I don't know if we've talked in a while, but each god has a familiar. Her family, and they go out and they fight in dungeons, and it brings praise to that god. And so what happened in this one started off like that, and then it led up to that god reaching out to the main protagonist, and he says that he'll help. Whoa! He says that he'll help her.
Tacos?
Whoa!
He'll go out and help her. And that's where it leads to the Arrow of Orion. Her name is Orion, and she has a spear that she gives to him, which will eventually be, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's actually been pretty good.
Spoiler alert.
It's not as fluffy as some of the other ones, and it's been a good movie. This is their second movie. The other one was like a fan flick, with like Dead or Alive, chicks in bikinis, but this one actually has been really, really good.
Tell us the name of it one more time.
Is it wrong to date a girl in a dungeon?
Is that it?
As close as I can get.
I think it's longer than that.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Or
Probably.
something like that?
Something like that.
Anyway.
And it's called Arrow of Orion. That portion I do know. It's
Okay.
pretty, yeah. So
All right.
it's not the tongue twister portion. And it's been pretty good.
Is it comedy? I mean, I just feel like most of the time
He says dark.
It's darker.
Well, I mean, but the show itself, like the characters.
No, because
I just feel like-
the last season ended with him trying to get a girl out of a harem, or that familiar that was of a harem, because it was the goddess of love, and it was darker because it was in the red light district and he was having a fight. So it's gotten darker. It's not as fluffy as the first ones were. Now, it's not Goblin Slayer either. It's not that dark or Berserk dark, but
Because I mean, I feel like, for example, it might not be dark, but there's some darker parts of Tenchi Muyo, but that is that's a comedy.
yeah, but Tenchi didn't get even slightly darker until halfway through, and then it became because then there are those episodes that are like straight comedy.
Yeah.
We love you, Tenchi, and you be like, oh God,
Where y'all go?
yeah. So this one was pretty good. It's a good watch.
Okay.
It's a good watch.
So I want you to go next because
Okay.
mine is going to kind of lead us into round 2. So what you got? What you been watching?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z?
So,
Uh-oh.
I watched the episodes where Goku is still training with King Kai, and his next objective is to catch this like grasshopper that flies or something. And basically King Kai says, if you can catch this grasshopper, then you can train directly under me. So it's like he's running around trying with this big old heavy thing trying to catch this flying grasshopper. Meanwhile, Gohan is still training with Piccolo.
Gohan and his dad. Okay.
And the rest of that group, who the only person I can remember is Yamcha and Yarobi or something like that.
Yajirobe?
Yajirobe.
That's weird that you remember Yajirobe because he is like,
I know, like nobody.
dang.
But he is in his own little way.
Yeah.
He is. As you progress, you'll see he's like, it's just like his parts are good. When you see Yajirobe, he's like, I'm not gonna fight, but so,
yeah. So that group of people were, I guess, training as well on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What? This is your show you watched.
well, I know, but they only showed like a small portion of it. They're like, okay, we're done training, so I was like, okay, so
Oh, and I wanted to get on Terrence. We've been watching these old episodes, and within the first, 10 episodes, Master Roshi admitted that Krillin at that point was already stronger than him. Just want to point that out. And I'm talking about within the first 10 episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
Well,
So we know that Krillin,
Master Roshi was like Dragon Ball,
right? That's what. But we were talking about Dragon Ball Super,
but
why they shouldn't have brought Roshi with them.
But he
at
also
all.
fought a whole lot better than Krillin did.
No. I am talking about Krillin. I'm talking about the fact that they should have brought Trunks or Goten.
They're still parents.
Or Gotenks.
They're still parents.
I'm just saying.
They're still
Like
parents.
Roshi went up there and died. Anyway, what else is going on?
So basically, it came down to where the two people who I don't know that are flying in to destroy Earth.
you know one of them. You're doing your best to just try to follow the story like you don't know what's going on.
Well, I still don't know how the transition occurs.
Okay.
So,
But you know who it is.
yes, it has
You
been
don't-
spoiled for me.
But you know who it was.
Well, I thought I did, but I was like, he looks like Vegeta, but he's not Vegeta. So I'm confused what's happening.
Well, why do you keep saying he's not Vegeta?
I'm saying when I was watching it, those first like couple of episodes, I was like, that's not Vegeta. That's somebody else.
But why?
I don't know.
Raditz.
No.
No, the two people that are in these little
The
pods.
space pods, yeah. Well, I'm saying, why are you saying it's not Vegeta?
I don't know.
Now, I will give you that they have not introduced him as Vegeta yet.
Okay, they haven't introduced him, and
But you've seen every episode of Super.
Yeah, but I just thought that Vegeta would have been there from the beginning, just like everybody else.
Okay.
So anyway,
Okay.
they're about to land. They're literally like a day from landing, and then at the end of the episode that we ended on, they landed in the middle of wherever, Earth or wherever they are.
Big city.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about to go down?
Yeah, it's about to go. Oh. And of course, Goku got brought back. So Master Roshi, went to Shinron or whatever and asked him to bring him back. He brought him back and he has appeared. Wait, did he appear? No, he hasn't. They showed him flying through the Snake Way.
Yeah, they found out he has to go back through Snake Way, so he's going to be late.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, sorry. It takes me a second.
Okay. So anyway, are you still liking the show?
Yes.
All right. Cool. I'm liking it better now because we switched over to a new disc, and that disc has better graphics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Because if these we're still in the 80s, these 80s graphics are looking this much better. I can't wait to see what the stuff from 1995 looks like. Anyway, my show, Neon Genesis. I finished it. I watched the last episode. Man, this anime is so dope. As I know I keep saying that. This particular episode, though, I don't think I'm really spoiling much because I'm not going to spoil anything that happened. There wasn't much that did happen in the last episode. But this last episode was more about acknowledgement of self, right? And acceptance of that acknowledgement and the fact that who you are and I don't even know how to explain it. It's so deep. Who you are and what you represent are kind of two different things. Like, let me give an example. I am a gamer. I've been gaming for 32, 33 years, whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a podcaster. Like, I do podcasts, but I didn't go to school. I didn't go to broadcast journalism to do podcasts. Right. And this is just my foot in the door to do gaming podcasts. But some other people look at me as a podcaster and they are then inspired by what I'm doing and they're trying to get on our level. Not that we're on some high level. I'm just saying there are people who would like to be where we're at. Right. So in that frame, I am a podcaster and I'm someone who influences them.
Okay.
Even though in my world, that's not what I am. It's not my goal. It's not what I tried to do. But it's important to recognize that in that moment, that's who I am when I'm in their company.
Kind of like when they talk about people who play in the NBA and they're like, you're a role model.
Yep.
And they're like, I don't want to be a role model. I'm here to play basketball.
Yep.
Okay.
But you still are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you play basketball at your house in the front yard, then no.
Right.
In that moment, you are not a role model. But when you go out there, what's Terrence doing? Playing a game.
Buying some shoes.
Yeah, in that moment in the driveway, no, you are not a role model. When you get out there on national TV, on TNT, Thursday night.
Can't wait.
There's millions of people are watching you. You like you are in that moment. So it was about that kind of that kind of depth and that kind of reflection of self and acknowledgement of self and realizing that that you not that you're a different person, but you represent different things depending on where you're at and who you're with. It's deep.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to make another one after that.
No, you're getting confused. This was the last episode of the series. Then they made a movie.
Right.
Then they had to make another movie after
to explain the deepness. The deepness. I'll just every time I just be like
so dope. That reminds me of Addams Family. You have a loud snap though. Like I don't have a good snap.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Addams Family snapping?
No, I was talking about the deepness.
Okay.
So
you don't like the deepness?
No. I don't mind deepness. I just hate when you have to make something else to explain your deepness.
I don't think that's what happened. They didn't make something else to explain the deepness.
There were a lot of people that were complaining about the ending of Neon.
No. There was a lot of people complaining about the movie that was made as the ending of Neon Genesis. Like Neon Genesis, the series, that ending was not an ending. The movie was supposed to be the ending. Then everyone complained about that.
There was a lot of complaining about
because they didn't like the ending, or
Yeah, they didn't like the ending.
Oh, okay.
Not the
I know the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the last episode of the series, but the movie that was supposed to end Neon Genesis.
Gotcha.
and then they had to do something else.
Because people didn't like it.
Death threats. She was getting death threats.
Yeah,
So
get your death threats.
they had
Get your death threats. That because that ending was like because it leads up. The series itself is actually really, really good, but the last 2 episodes or whatever just kind of went in like an artist with a paintbrush.
it did the normal anime end of a series. I'm gonna just flip the script right, but it happened real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of animes, like it starts getting weird. Let's just say if it's 10 episodes, it might start getting weird episode 6.
Correct.
To build up and
No, this one was the last just 2 to 3.
Yeah. It just started getting real deep and real kind of.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then it was a lot of
real quick. It was just like,
It was a lot of just.
And you got to watch it.
Yeah, and yeah, it had. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what that last episode was about.
Okay.
Without giving too much away, that's what it was about.
Gotcha.
And so that leads me to round 2. Y'all ready?
Yes.
And we're ready.
Round 2.
Let's get into this conversation. So that led me to think, because we kind of had a similar conversation maybe yesterday. I don't remember what we were talking about because we talk about so much stuff off the podcast because there's a lot of stuff going on. But what I wanted to know today is what you all's favorite anime genre is and why. Like, I really want to know why. So I guess I'll start. Mine is the drama. Like this is not those action. You got Ava. Is we had a conversation once. Is Neon Genesis mech? It's not mech, right? Just because you have mechs in there and blah blah blah, it's not a mech anime. Well, what kind of anime is it? Well, it's like a psychological thriller, which are usually like dramas.
I won't say thriller, but I would say psychological. Yes.
Well, whatever you want to call it, but it's a drama. At the end of the day, it's a drama.
It's a drama.
I like these. I like these better. I don't do the comedies. I don't like the comedies. But we're not here to talk about what I don't like. I like the dramas. It makes me think. Maybe we were talking about Star Trek. We were talking about the difference between Star Trek and Gilmore Girls.
Yep.
I think that's what was going down. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I love both shows, and he was like, yeah, but Star Trek's better. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, the acting is better. Because I can watch Gilmore Girls over and over and over. I can just watch the reruns over and over and over. I love that show. Star Trek, I don't necessarily want to watch the reruns, but I really like the show.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not one is better, I was kind of like, well, I think Star Trek technically is probably better because it's better acting, it's better storyline, it's more creative, the costumes are insane, and it makes you think. Like, you have to pay attention to what's going on in Star Trek. Where Gilmore Girls is more just comforting, and it's just kind of like,
Yeah. So that's why I like watching the dramas better. It's gonna make you think, and especially anime. I think I like dramas better in general, whatever we're talking about, but especially with anime, because when it really goes down that takes that deep dive, it's like, what is going on? And it kind of really makes you think. And I just feel like a lot of what they were talking about can be applied to what's happening right now, right? So one of the first things I thought about, which might sound crazy, I'm not about to get real political here, but I don't know Donald Trump. I never met Donald Trump. Have you met Donald Trump?
Not even.
Never met Donald Trump. Okay, so regardless of what you think, he appears to me, I'll just put it that way, to be a bit racist.
Yep.
Right? But that is him being racist on national TV to appeal to his fan base. It always go back to what I was just saying happened in that last episode of Neon Genesis. Is he racist when he goes home? I don't know. Maybe not. But when he gets on that TV, who he is to these people that he's talking to changes. Now he's different because he's appealing to this different audience.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he racist at home? I don't know. Do you appear to be racist out here in these streets when you're talking to the public? Yes. So that's what that last episode of Neon Genesis was touching on. I just thought it was crazy that this was made, 25 years ago? And they were still touching on things
that are happening today
in a deep psychological way that can be applied to stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Like sometimes you like comedies and stuff, like we talk about it, like the jokes don't hold up and they're not funny anymore, or they're specific to a time period. When you start getting into all that kind of reflection of self and acknowledgement of self and all that kind of good stuff, that can be any time period. And it's still relevant. So Terrence, what you got? What's your favorite anime genre?
So my favorite anime genre is let me say this.
Okay.
Let me answer, why do I watch anime? So
No. That's not the question. That's not the question.
No,
that's not the question. What is your favorite genre and why?
So we're gonna change the question. Okay.
That's what I said.
I thought you did say earlier we were also going to say why do you watch
we ain't got none of that on wax.
pre-show. I thought you said
we don't have no pre-show meeting. We just up here talking about Candace.
So
we just up here talking about Candace Owens. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
So on that note, I'm going to the action horror. And it kind of, I've always liked the action, the berserk, and sometimes even the demonic stuff.
So more gore? Because
yeah.
I'm not sure if berserk is horror. It's more like action gore.
But it has some of the horror. It's got not this one, but some of the movies when I was younger, they did have some of the.
You were just scared.
I ain't never scared.
Hey,
but it has some, especially when like he meets the two people and they're like, "Hey, do you want to ride?" And he's like, "No, not really." But because if he goes to sleep, I've always liked that, the berserk. But it all stemmed from my love for manga, and that's really kind of what twisted me and turned me into that. And so I've and a lot of stuff, some of the stuff that I watch now has been more of the Parasite, some of the more
Boogie Pop Phantom,
a little bit,
Higurashi.
I didn't watch that, but
you should watch it.
There's a lot of stuff that, like, I just finished one called Plunder. I like to see people split in half, or heads chopped off.
Yeah.
Or some of the demonic stuff like they had in Berserk. That's my now. That being said, I also like the One Piece, the Dragon Ball Z, the real fluffy fighting stuff, but sometimes it's just too happy, and I need to see something where like you're getting shot and you explode, but before you die, you have your epiphany, and they give you like this 10 minutes of the anime to kind of like reminisce on back right before you die.
All right, all the flashbacks of everything that's
Correct.
just happened. Yeah.
And
so what you got? I know you ain't watched a whole lot of anime, but you have over the past 3 years.
So, I like, my favorite is probably When They Cry.
Mm-hmm. That's the Higurashi.
So I like whatever that is, psychological
horror.
Yeah.
Thriller, horror. I don't know what that was. It was just different.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
yeah, it was pretty awesome. I like Steins Gate.
Okay.
So I don't know what that falls into.
So I like sci-fi thriller, I think.
Yeah, I liked that.
But it's more story in that one compared to a lot of the other stuff.
More character development.
Yeah.
Yeah. More character interaction.
Yeah. So stuff like that. I mean,
so it's not like thriller, because you got a horror thriller and you got a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah. I like that genre, and I do like Dragon Ball Z, but I like the filler episodes. I don't like the fighting. So and you know what? This is a great comparison to what we were just talking about, Star Trek and Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, because with Dragon Ball Z, that's kind of equivalent to my Gilmore Girls.
Oh, that's so disrespectful.
No, hold on. The filler episodes I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the fighting.
Okay.
The filler, though, it's about the
They'll be fighting in Gilmore Girls, do they?
No, but I'm just saying, like, the filler episodes that are more about family and friendship and them getting together, and you know what I mean? You're seeing more of like the different personalities and characters. Mm. That's more of like it's kind of like chill, Mm-hmm. Whereas the When They Cry, like you have to pay attention to every single moment of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And even when I did, I still got lost.
Yeah, no, they don't fight in Gilmore Girls. They don't do a whole much of anything. They just walk around town and talk to
So it's
each
like
other.
90210?
No, it's not that much drama.
Oh, okay.
It's not like, that's like all teenager drama.
It's like no drama.
Young people.
It's drama in Gilmore Girls, but it's like not drama. Like, I don't know it's just people just talking
Anyway.
about nothing.
Anyway, so I like, I guess, thriller.
So Seinfeld.
Oh, I don't know, because I don't do racist people. So
Gilmore Girls it's a girly show. I mean, it's about a girl and her mother and the stuff that they go through.
Yeah, so I guess it's more about the relationship between the mom and the daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And then it shows like how the daughter navigates through like relationships in school as well as her adult mother who's also trying to find.
Just like Dragon Ball Z.
So I was talking about just like the feeling of like it's just kind of nice. I like the filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z. But anyway.
So thrillers.
Yeah.
So why do you like the thrillers though?
I don't know. You're kind of like, what? A lot of times there's a lot of turns. Well, first of all, I'm with Terrence. I like seeing people's heads chopped off and whatever. Man. And you usually see that in those movies. But you also, well, at least when they cry, that one was more violent. But I also felt like in both of those movies or whatever you want to call it, there were so many times where you're just like, wait, what? Like it just like turned. So something just happened and you're like, that's not what I expected to happen. Or who is that person?
Mm-hmm.
Or,
there's plot twists.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot twists. Thank you.
You like the plot twist?
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps you on your toes.
Okay.
All right. So you like to be on your toes. You like to see hardcore violence. And I like to think.
Yeah.
That makes...
So today we think more than we probably on our personal lives anyway. So when I have the chance to watch my anime, I just kind of want it to be like Calgon. I want it to take me away.
Yeah.
Far, far away.
I'm with you. That's how I'm with Gilmore Girls.
Okay. I'm not trying to go there.
I'm just saying, everybody has their own thing.
Me and Terrence wouldn't be welcome in Stars Hollow.
I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is everybody has their own thing that's just like a distraction from reality.
Okay.
Like you can just turn it on and you're just kind of like,
Okay.
Y'all ready to get into round 3?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Round 3.
Final Fantasy VII Remake chapters 6 through 11. I don't really even want to talk about 6 and 7.
Or 8.
I really just want to start off with talking about Cloud and Aerith.
Okay.
At the church, he finally falls through the top of the church, which happened in the original game.
Fights his first Turk.
Reno and the Turks. Okay.
Reno and the Turks. Yeah.
And then y'all running around the slums on the top of the buildings for like 5 hours, talking about a bunch of nothing.
Yes, that was horrible.
And it was so freaking
Boring.
And I was like, what is happening here? Now, here's my thing. And I don't know if you caught this from the original game or not. And I don't know. Okay. How about this? How about I ask you a question?
Okay.
Is there something going on between Cloud and Aerith?
I mean, there seems to be kind of a crush from Aerith.
Does it?
She seems like she kind of has a little crush.
Is that what you got from the part, at least when they were running on top of in the slums?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember what I felt in that moment of them running through the slums.
She seemed goofy. She's very goofy.
Which I didn't get that from the original game.
All right.
She's super goofy,
yeah,
like she's dopey.
Yeah. And like she's like, oh, I don't want to fall. And I'm like, but you said let's go this direction and get out. I just
pigeon toes, running around, goofy, but then is very aware of what's going on.
Correct.
So you're just
almost like it's a facade.
So you're like just acting stupid, just for the sake of acting stupid. So here's the deal. In the original game, it seemed like it was very clear that the love interest for Cloud was going to be Tifa or Aerith.
Yeah.
It's not that apparent in this game.
No.
And it seems like what they did was they took all that flirtiness that Aerith may have did in the original game and put it onto Jessie.
Oh yeah,
which never happened.
I forgot about Jessie.
Yeah,
right.
Jessie was in the first one was like
you just
minimal,
like you just
at best.
Like you were just a name brand Avalanche person.
So I will tell you this.
That's it.
Yep, and just take them home. They go get pizza, and you're supposed to be hood, and you go and you take stuff out of dad's coat.
Keep it gangster.
I will say, not knowing the history, because I don't, I feel like what I'm getting from this game is that Cloud loves Tifa. That's what it seems like. But he's not going to like come out and say like I love you. He's just doing things and thinking of her, and that's what it seems like.
And like I said, from that whole chapter of them just running around together on the rooftops, you got nothing between Cloud and Aerith for me anyway.
Right? No, not like right at the beginning. No.
And even after that,
it really doesn't seem like there's a lot. Like there's not a lot, and she seems to be very helpful to him, and even like a little bit further down, even when he sees Tifa again, she's almost like on board with let's go rescue her.
Yeah, I agree with that. But there was a point in time where I kind of felt like, does she like him? Like she's saying things that are like, oh,
this weird way of flirting.
Yeah, kind of a weird, awkward way of flirting. But she seems like a little kid. Like how old is she?
Right. She reminds me of Mayuri from Steins Gate.
Yeah.
And
she's
like,
she's supposed to be close to his age though.
Oh.
They're all supposed to be kind of
she don't act like her age.
No.
She need to grow up.
Like she's all like with the little kids in there. She's like all like into them. I just she didn't seem like the Tifa that in the previous ones.
Aerith.
Tifa seems to be who she is.
Yeah.
And they put more emphasis for some odd reason on her. And so far, Tifa has Aerith has not gotten the same type of time. I
feel like they did because Tifa.
Well, she got the time, but it doesn't feel like time. It feels like almost felt like it was a little bit of it was rushed.
Well, it felt like Tifa. It was real heavy Tifa in chapters 1 through 5. It felt like it was real heavy Aerith in 6 through.
But what I'm saying about Tifa is Tifa. It might have been 1 through 5, but it was also Barrett. It was also Sephiroth. It was also character development for Cloud mixed in with all of that. You also had Marlene, right? You had Avalanche. You had Jessie.
Yeah. You
had like all of that going on. Where when it was Aerith, it was just y'all two.
Yeah.
For like 2 chapters, right? Yeah. Because they ran across the top of the slums from the church.
And then she helped you.
Then they got to the town with the kids.
Helped you with the kids.
Which was also boring.
Yeah.
The kids was boring. The one with the lady with the reporter was boring.
Yeah.
All of this. Let me say this. So far, all of the side missions have been like boring, which is kind of dulled out.
Well, and it was worse there because you had to go out, and it was so it was linear, but it was so big. It took you so long to run around to do these specific side missions, and not that I need them to tell me exactly where the enemy was. You had to actually go find the enemy. It just gave you a general range. It's over here somewhere, and you had to go find them for the side missions. And it's like I got tired of looking. I got lucky because right when I was about to stop looking and just be like, screw this side mission, I found them.
I felt like it picked up when the Chocobo came through and Tifa was in there. Then it was like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. For me, because I'm like, I have no idea. So I'm like, what's going on?
So it did pick up, but then it also introduced us to a new city, which you then had to run around and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it didn't pick up yet. It was about to pick up. It was like a teaser for the pickup.
Yeah, it was definitely a teaser.
But then I had to go to this town again and run around this town and do all these side missions around.
And all the side missions weren't great. Like the one in the gym.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
I got my trophy though.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Swole, swole dudes. Hey, you're not swole.
Oh,
you can't, yeah. You can't do this.
Yeah.
Let's go in here and do this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got my trophy.
Then the dressing up as a woman.
So hold on now. You can't just bring that up like it's just some small thing, right?
Well, it's not small, but in the game, because now, because when we played it back in the day, graphics weren't the same.
No.
This is like,
well, back in the day, there was not so much emphasis on this.
No.
It was a thing that happened, and it happened quick. It wasn't this long, drawn out 2 hour process.
You didn't have to do a dance
and do this dance.
Oh yeah.
And let me do an ANX pro tip right here. They let you practice the dance. They let you practice it quite a few times if you want to, over and over and over, before you actually have to go out and do the real dance.
Right.
The real dance is nothing like the practice.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that you got to time it right when you press the button. But
Right.
when you actually do the dance on stage as dressed up in a dress, there are times where the button you need to press is like hidden behind someone's
Correct.
head. And it's like you can't even time it right. So I was like, what is this? I wasn't prepared for all that. But yeah, generally speaking, it's like they spent a lot of time, and which we knew this. We knew this because they put out a full trailer with nothing but Cloud in a dress. Because people were asking. We had this conversation about The Last of Us and why do people care if someone is gay or someone's dressing like a woman, or why they're even asking the question, right? We had the conversation on another, like a weekly update or something. This one, people kept asking. They never came out with a statement, but then they put out like a 2.5 minute trailer where most of it was Cloud in a dress.
Okay.
Just to address everyone if they were wondering
I'm assuming this happened in the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were just wondering because all the trailers so far hadn't shown him in the dress.
Right. But that's even for me, that was that. Even though I was like, the other issue for me that was you didn't get your second summons. So your first one was Ifrit,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second was Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big gap in the time that you can get your summons.
So it didn't bother me that there was a big gap. It's bothered me how I'm receiving them, having to do these VRs, like blah blah blah.
But you
whatever.
got the special edition, right?
So I got the special edition. So I already had some summons and they were maxed out.
Oh,
so I had them already. So
the cactus and what was the other
no,
one?
I think it was Chocobo and Moogle.
Because the fat chocobo
Mog
you get.
or something. It wasn't a fat chocobo. It was a regular chocobo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because see, the fat chocobo wasn't even in the first one, from what I remember. It was just a regular chocobo that ran through.
And the fat chocobo just sits there.
Yeah,
And he throws out other things that help you.
yeah. Which I saw that Tomberry King. I was like, oh, I know about him
Yeah, I was like,
because he'd stab you one time and that's it.
right, but
It's
they
death,
not in.
instant death.
But in this one, he may have. But the camera. That's one of the issues. The camera's kind of pitiful, especially when you're fighting.
Yeah.
And so now you need to work on that. Which hopefully, when we get the second installment of it, they will change it.
I don't know. It took them 10 years to make this. So,
well, I'm pretty sure the other one's ready. It's a batch. But the good thing about it is it should be for the PS5.
yeah, that ain't gonna help the camera though.
No, they ain't gonna help the
It's
camera.
gonna help load times.
So
graphics.
I did like when Cloud and Aerith fought, when they had to fight.
Oh, in the arena.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of like,
I mean, that's cool.
yeah.
Especially when you had to fight and the dude say, I didn't think I was going to make it anyway. And then the random funny guy that's thrown in there for comic relief, the one that y'all kicked out of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go in and then he gets sick because he eats the wrong food.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just
Johnny. Yeah.
Because Cloud was going to kill him.
I don't know. All that whole town, the Wall Market, it was just kind of goofy, especially the missions, because it kept saying, okay, now go back here. But before you got back there, so you stopped and it rerouted you, and then okay, now and you never went back and did half the things that you were supposed to go back and do. So it was just kind of strange. It was just I don't know. Now it was better than the city before with the kids. It was better than running through the rooftops.
Oh yeah. Oh my
and
gosh.
all that kind of good stuff. But it was still, and I think it was just the fact that the city looked cool, and there was something about the Honeybee Inn that was just, I recognize this. Like I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I vividly remember this, as opposed to running through the slums with Aerith. I don't.
Not familiar.
No. And the only reason I'm going to remember it from the remake is because of how boring it was. I'm not going to remember it because it was like, oh, do you remember that? It was so dope. I'm like,
Right.
no. Like, it was boring.
Look here. Yeah. Her talking to you and the whole, her jumping on stuff and being all girly, and then you move the crane and it picks her up with the hand and it puts her here.
Oh yeah.
And the crane moves like a mile a minute. So everything, come on now. Like we trying to get this so we can move on to the next, but then you fight the little gang down there, which you had to fight them again in the arena. Gang.
Hey.
Gang.
That's what we're going to call them.
The side quest in this left a lot to be desired. I
wouldn't be surprised if this is just something they threw in one of the 3 times they remade this game.
Okay. And I can see it.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, hey, we need something else here. Let's throw in some side missions.
Right.
But you just run around the city and just...
And it's almost in circles. It just seemed kind of boring.
Yep. And it had nothing to do with the main story.
Not even a little bit.
See, I'm telling you, I'll bash whatever game. I don't care who made it. It could be Square Enix, it could be Capcom, it could be Final Fantasy, it could be Cloud.
So they beat the house.
Oh, the house fight was so another ANX pro tip. I don't know how you would know what's coming up next, but if you get into a fight and you don't have the right magic equipped to counter that type of opponent, it's going to be a long fight.
It's going to be a long fight.
That fight with the house was long because I didn't, on Cloud, I did not have the right magic elemental to fight against it.
So I mixed it between Cloud and Aerith. So either I could switch either one once I saw what the house looked like.
Yeah.
And I could switch it.
So I think in the beginning I had stuff evenly balanced, right, with Tifa and Barrett and Cloud or whatever. But then the game was not too easy. Yeah, it was just too easy. So I didn't care. There have been many times where I've gotten a new weapon and I don't even. Back in the day, when you got a new weapon, it was immediately equipped because 9 times out of 10, it was a definite upgrade from what you had. This game here, I was like, I don't feel like fooling with it. Like, because
you get like 4 or 5. The only reason why I change weapons is because usually when you change weapon, it has another slot. So
but if I check it and it doesn't, I'm like, man, I ain't wasting my time, because going through junctioning materia, changing weapons, all that stuff could take an hour.
Right.
And that's just that's just with 2 characters. And if you got 3 in your party, and then if you lose track, like I kind of did at one point, I kind of lost track of who had what because I stopped playing. And then when I came back to it, I was like, I don't even feel like fooling with this. I'm gonna go try to fight, and if I'm winning, then whatever.
That house fight was stressful. I was like, because I thought he was gonna lose.
Because you had to have the right magic.
But I don't lose.
Well, I'm just saying it was just close.
Oh God.
Ultimate gamer. Anyway, I hadn't died yet, so I'm good.
There was a point where I died. One of the bosses, one of the vehicles or whatever before, I had, and at that time I didn't have all the right magic. So I made sure the next time I fought I had all the right magic. But I think it was the rocket launchers.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
So you probably had more trouble with that thing than I did, because we talked about it. You got the default 3 items you took from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
From that boss. I took 5, and I'm pretty sure I could have taken more.
Okay.
But so I probably didn't have that much trouble with it because I was able to take more of the weapons away from it. So here's my dilemma with the game so far. Maybe you can help me, because she wasn't trying to help me. So I think it's because I got the deluxe edition. I got certain materials that are already maxed out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? One of the ones that is maxed out is steel, as in thievery.
You've used it?
I have not. However, I do assess on every enemy I run across. I did the assess on, we ain't gotten here yet, but the big boss at the end of the ghost graveyard, the train graveyard, it had a weapon for Aerith. That you had to steal to get. I don't have steel equipped because it is maxed out. Now, what do I mean by maxed out? ANX Pro tips. You junction your materia and then you can level up your material. Right. So if it's maxed out, then you just got XP for your material just kind of going to waste.
You're right.
Right? You could be leveling up something else.
Right.
So that's my dilemma right now. Do we think it's worth it to equip steel?
No, I have not used it yet. But you just admitted that you died like all the time. Yeah, but it wasn't because I didn't steal nothing from nobody. When I fought the train, the battle was pretty quick. Because I do use a lot of magic, and I like all my magic for cloud armor. I have Kiraga, I have and so I have Faraga, I have the wind and the ice. Tifa has lightning. She has a lightning one, which takes a little while to do, which is so funny because used to be back in the day in classic mode, you put lightning and it does it. On here, depending on if there's something flying at you, it can miss.
Because you got area damage. You got certain ones like ice. It's going to make an ice crystal in a specific area. So if that monster moves, it won't hit.
Right.
Now, my lightning takes a long time because I have it synced up with... is it synergy? Is it the synergy? Is it the blue material? Basically,
or you can use it to your sword.
No, okay, so it's not synergy.
Right.
I got the synergy on Tifa. It's another blue one that basically is the equivalent to all. It used to be a material called all, where you junction it together and you do lightning against all the enemies. It's called something else on here. So ANX Pro tips, read those blue ones. I feel like the most important material are
blue
the
and
blue
purple.
ones.
Purple
is the strong, but I mean, if you can hit your lightning strike on all the enemies and there's 5, or you're fighting a boss and it has 2 arms that you can attack plus the main body. I mean, now it takes a little bit longer though. The cast time takes a little bit longer when you
and you leave yourself open to get hit.
Yeah.
Which, and because in this one, the dodging and evasion, Barrett's dodge is horrible.
Well, he's so big.
Yeah, so it's the defense in this game leaves a little bit to be desired.
Well, I just don't want to play. I just don't even want to do defense. I like turn-based anime.
Correct.
And this is not really turn-based.
Not at all. Even when they say classic is not classic.
No.
Yeah, y'all said that the first time.
Yeah. So what did we talk about? We talked about dressing up. We talked about dancing.
They beat them. They beat everybody. So then she got to get her dress. Aerith.
Right. So now we're inside with the Don.
Don Cornejo.
What?
That was his name.
Something like that. Sound like you said something inappropriate, but
Cornejo. That was his name.
We're gonna stop cussing on the podcast. It's family friendly. It's family friendly. Yeah, had an interaction with him. He gassed us, and then we whatever. And I kind of do remember that one scene. Is I'll rip him off. I'll cut him off. I do remember that from the original game. And now you're in the Honeybee Inn, just like in the original game. You can go peek through the keyhole and look at what's going on inside. Mm-hmm. So that was cool, just because that's what you can do. I feel like that's what's happening with this remake. There's a lot of things that they're kind of getting away with just because it's cool, just because it reminds you of the original.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, but the stuff we're doing is like not that great. The game is not that good right now, right? Like It's not horrible, but it's just like, again, I'm expecting more. You're remaking one of the best games ever made. To me, the best game ever made. I'm expecting more, and they're not really delivering.
No, it really made me. I don't know what to say. The game is stunning.
Oh, the graphics are dope.
Oh, yeah.
It's stunning, but and the weapon, even the weapons layout, when they let you see the weapons and what you can do with them, they are, because used to be you change weapon, it was still the same weapon. This one is you change weapon and it shows, or it has a different skill set, but it's something. It's lacking something.
Yeah.
So I also feel like I just don't know how they're gonna do this. I feel like it's suffering from the same thing that Final Fantasy 13 suffered from, which is there was a lot of character development. Like, a lot of people quit on 13. A lot of people quit. And I actually stuck through it and beat it. And at the end of the day, it's like, yo, 13 was actually pretty dope. Like, once you got past the first 20 hours of the game, the next 30 hours were dope, right? So I don't know how to get away with this with 7 Remake, because we all know the story. We all know the story, and I think we all know what's probably going to happen at the end of this remake. So I just can't chalk it up to, oh, they're just putting out this first one with a lot of character development to get everybody familiar or refamiliarize people with these characters. I can't just chalk it up to that, because there's already a set and established story that they need to follow. So I don't know if it gets better from here.
So, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. The little boy who asked you to go out and do the tasks.
Yeah.
And he gives you a Matera.
Uh-huh.
Was he in the first one?
No, this is just some random
kid.
Yeah, that they put in. So anyway, we talk to the Don. Then he sends us through to the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
And we crawl around in the sewers, which wasn't so bad.
No.
It wasn't so bad. It kind of, it was quick in the sewers.
Well, I wonder if it was better, a little better, because we had Tifa now, so it kind of like
and they
added,
were talking.
Yeah,
so
they were
talking back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? We get out the sewers, just more puzzles, not puzzles, but
puzzle-like things.
Puzzle-like things. There we go. And I don't like that. I don't like to have to do puzzles every time to get past this one area, just because you don't want to create a larger environment for me to navigate and search. So it's a small area, but you make it challenging, because I can't go straight through it, and I have to go up here and over to the left and down here, and I have
pull
to move
this lever
and pull this and let this water go. But at the end of the day, I haven't really moved that far. So it's kind of like, that's whack to me. Like, just make a bigger and larger environment for me to, and there is no kind of searching. There's no exploration per se, right? There's you go somewhere and you can clearly look on the map to see, if I go here, there's a dead end in about 20 meters. If I go here, there doesn't seem to be any dead end. So clearly one way is the right way to go. The other one is not. If I go to the wrong way per se, I'm probably going to find something, secret chest or whatever. But that's not exploration to me. But Final Fantasy has been that way since 10. It's been that way since 10. Okay. So I can't fault 7 with that, because they've been doing that since 2001.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for almost 20 years now.
This isn't new.
Yeah, this isn't new. So anyway, what was after that? We're in the sewers. Is that when we ran into the ghosts?
Yes.
It was ghost time. I didn't mind the ghost part so much.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't, because the graphics, right? So now it's a dark environment with things that are glowing and lit up and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, there's like these little kids, and you're like, what?
Yeah. So now that part wasn't bad, and then you had the psychological piece to it, flashing back to when the Aerith was younger, and what happened with her and
her friend
and her friends, right? That disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Hide and seek.
Yeah, hide and seek, and it was just hide, no seeking, no seeking.
Spoiler alert.
Now there was more bosses there than I expected. I expected, once I fought the one boss inside of that room,
it was it.
I was like, oh, this is it, the one that kept disappearing and popping.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Go outside, and it's like, oh no, it's another boss outside. Like, okay, all right, just boss after boss now.
And I didn't really like that portion. Was really confined. Up a train, down a train, up a train, down a train, through
move a train, move a train.
Yeah, was like, whatever. By that time, I was like, whatever. And then you get to the boss, and then it's like anticlimactic. Well, the battle was anticlimactic. What it kind of represented at the time wasn't bad. The friend, and how it went in. So that portion wasn't bad.
Yeah, and then I think we ended it with I guess they got out of there and they were back home, right? And then the helicopters and stuff were flying over,
or attacking. Yeah, because they're trying to bring down the pillars trying to drop the saucer onto Sector 7.
And then it went in.
Yeah.
And then that's where we stopped.
Yeah, that's where we stopped. So, I mean, that was a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like,
Something's happening.
what's about to happen?
Right. I know Terrace is a little bit further, but I got more trophies. How? Sway? How?
Mr. Competitive.
I haven't checked my trophy, so I don't know.
Oh, I check them. Because Terrence don't like to communicate, so I got to see what he's playing to see. Cause
well,
to know
and
what
you're
the next
Mr.
podcast,
Competitive.
to see what the next podcast is. It's like,
but yeah. Needless to say, you usually like, did you finish? No, I put in a lot of time. I did.
on
But
this one, yeah.
But I haven't. But I didn't go trophy hunting.
But on Madden, Spider-Man, and
Madden, I did put some time in. Spider-Man,
Miles Morales coming.
It looks awesome. I will put a lot of time in that one.
Man, whatever. That's what you said about Spider-Man. I beat the whole dang game.
That's Miles Morales.
Okay. So what you think, just generally speaking, now that I feel like chapters 1 through 5 and chapters 6 through 11 were completely opposite.
Different, yes.
Because we didn't really see Sephiroth that much in 6 through 11.
I'm excited now. 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 were rough. Well, 6 and 7 were okay. They were kind of fast. But the whole thing with Aerith and like walking around into her house and then walking around town, the little kids. I mean, oh my gosh, that was really rough.
Yeah.
You were about to lose me, for real. I was just like, oh my God, can we like force forward this?
I was about to skip those side missions. Because I ran up to the house and I saw, they were like, do you really want to go in the house? And I knew at that point, if I would, from my knowledge of playing games, if I click yes, then I'm going to progress through all of those side missions.
Yeah.
And I probably won't, because of how linear the game is, I probably won't be able to come back and do them. So I was like, do you really want to go in the house? It's like, no, I really don't.
But part of it is the side missions were so boring that maybe, I don't really know if you really, like in the back in the day, you leveled up. So you did side missions, but you also did battles, then you would level up.
Yeah.
This one just didn't seem that. Yeah.
No. But I like I said, for me, it picked back up eventually, you know, it got better. And now I'm like, well, what are we about to come into?
Okay.
And I want to get back to Seventh Heaven or whatever it's called. Like, I want to get back into like with the original characters.
Okay.
I like them.
So you hating on Aerith?
Well, no, but it's just like when it's just Aerith, it's kind of like,
Yeah, because she's bland. Even
Yeah.
like, and they kind of talked about it when the chick was like the masseuse, the hand masseuse.
Yeah.
Hand masseuse.
Hey.
The hand masseuse kind of talked about it like,
yeah,
kind of bland.
yeah.
Yeah.
But even in the graphics they didn't really. I mean, flat
She looks
chest,
kind of frumpy.
yeah, flat chested, one outfit, kind of hobo-ish.
She seems like a child. Like,
Yeah.
She
I
seems.
wouldn't be surprised if she was like 15.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
she's supposed to. Back in the day, she was closer in age.
I don't really remember specific ages.
Right, I
just
don't.
assume.
Not specifically, but it just seemed like she was close in age to Cloud.
Yeah.
You got Tifa working at a bar, owning a bar.
Correct.
You got this chick.
well,
still,
she's like a woman.
Yeah, and you got this chick still live at home with her mama.
Yeah, and she dresses like Anna Green Gables or something. And
Who?
I don't know.
What?
Just boring. You know.
Mm.
Anyway.
So you don't like Aerith? You just
Well,
want
no,
Barrett,
I don't.
You want Barrett and Tifa and Cloud.
It's not that I don't like Aerith, but I think I would like it better if it was Aerith and then everybody else.
Okay. So you want Aerith to join Avalanche?
Well, I just want to get back to Jesse and Biggs and Barrett.
Okay.
You know.
The Resistance. Okay. Well, what I will say before we get to the wrap up is one of the things that I disliked about chapters 1 through 5, they fixed a little bit. I heard more victory music through chapters 6 through 11. So I don't really know what they're doing with this game. It seems kind of all over the place.
Right.
Hopefully they put this out, people say what they like and didn't like, and just apply that to the
Correct. And then they learn.
part. Yeah.
My thing is this: put it in there. The only thing I ask for is this: I don't like the fighting system of how the others fight.
Because they don't do nothing.
They don't do nothing.
They just basic attacks. That's all they do.
Basic. If you want to do something special, you have to let them do their basic attacks for a minute and then click over.
Yeah. So anyway, update pricing. I don't remember what you said last time. I think you said 50.
That's still at 50.
I had said 55. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm. You still feel that way?
I'm at 60.
Even though these were like worse?
These wrist
Well,
chapters.
not all of them were worse.
Yeah.
There was some. I feel like there are some that were worse and some that were better. The other chapters weren't great in 1 through 5. Let's not get it twisted.
No.
The only thing that was good about it is they kept showing Sephiroth.
Yeah.
And stuff about the reunion. That's the only thing that was good about that, and the fact that you were introducing of the new characters.
So, but you felt like it was enough good change to go up $5?
Yeah, because it just had more story than 1 through 5.
Okay.
1 through 5 didn't have a whole lot of story. It was just character development.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
That's fair.
So that's where I'm at. So now we got a little more story. Even though we had a chapter or two with Aerith only that was kind of boring.
Okay.
But it was still story because it told about her mom. They actually showed Cloud's mom, if you remember, during the parts with Aerith. They showed Cloud's mom. Cause,
I don't remember that.
yeah, I don't think you weren't paying attention. That was a part where Cloud's mom was basically giving him advice on like what type of girl he should go after. And she said something specific that I believe I've heard Tifa say before, and Aerith didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there were some things there. There was some little nuggets here and there, but overall it was just still boring, right?
Yeah.
For some of those chapters. So anyway, you at 50, now I'm at 60. So
Still not that far apart.
no,
Well, no, but it just seemed like it didn't. I don't. I mean, it had some nuggets per se, but not $10 worth of nuggets. Oh, $5 worth.
$5 more story.
Okay.
Just more story, less character development and more story. So now we have characters that are established, and now you're just learning either more about the backstory or more about what's going on now. Because even with Reno, like I said, in the original, Reno and the Turks were like a goofy Team Rocket kind of people. They weren't just like evil bad guys, right?
Well, they're not. I didn't get the evil from them.
Exactly. But that goes. But when they first showed up, you didn't know that.
I thought they were bad guys.
Right, but they are bad guys. But then once you fast forward later, when they're talking in the helicopter about bringing down the saucer, they're kind of like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what we were told to do. But
correct.
You can clearly see like they're not really trying to do that. Like I said, they more like on the Team Rocket level. Like I'm down to try to get Pikachu, but I'm not trying to go kill and slaughter a bunch of Pokemon.
Right.
Or whatever Giovanni does.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, y'all ready to wrap up?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Let's see what this button does. Nothing. I need to fix that. That's not really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's do the social media thing one more time. Follow us on all social media outlets at ANX Gamecast and wherever you get your podcast. Speaking of your favorite podcasts, we are on AVersion TV. This, what you just listened to, if you're listening to audio only, shout out, by the way.
Shout out.
This episode is available on YouTube. You can go watch it. You can go and watch us make faces and watch Terrence play his phone game during round 1, right? And unbiased Ann looking at her notes on her phone or whatever she was doing over there. I don't know. But you can see us doing that on AVersion TV on YouTube.
It's very exciting.
It is. Make sure to like some of the tracks when you get there. Make sure to follow us and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be first to know when we drop new videos.
That's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Gamecast. Join us next week where we will have our full The Last of Us review. See you next time.
Chocobo.